One of the main qualities that successful people share is their ability to imagine a life without limits. When you think about your future, the first step is to release any mental barriers that might be holding you back. It's important to let your mind freely explore all the endless possibilities that the world has to offer. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong or what you can't do, start thinking about what could go right and what you're capable of achieving. Imagine a life where there are no restrictions, where you can reach your full potential. By doing this, you'll open yourself up to new opportunities and ideas that you might have overlooked before. Success begins with a mindset that embraces possibility. So give yourself permission to dream big, think boldly, and believe that you can create the life you truly want. At the start, your main task is to dream big. Think about every aspect of your life and figure out exactly what you want. Before you worry about whether something is possible, focus on what's right for you. Imagine that you could be, do, or have anything you truly desire, but it's important to first be clear about what that is. To help with this, make a list of your dreams. Pretend for a moment that there are no limits, no restrictions on time, money, knowledge, connections, experience, or education. Write down everything that you want to achieve, no matter how big or small. Remember, if you can clearly define your goals and put them on paper, they are within your reach if you're willing to work hard and make the necessary sacrifices. There's no such thing as an unrealistic goal, just unrealistic timelines. The simple act of writing down your goals can trigger powerful forces that help you achieve them. Many people have experienced this firsthand. They write down their goals at the beginning of the year, tuck the list away, and then by year's end, find that most of those goals have been accomplished, often in unexpected ways. This process works because writing down your goals makes them more real and concrete. It helps you focus your thoughts and intentions, setting the wheels in motion toward achieving what you want. Even when you're not actively thinking about your goals, your mind continues to work on them in the background, guiding your actions and decisions toward those outcomes. When you take the time to write down big, challenging goals, three important things happen. First, you start to feel better about yourself and become more confident. Just by putting your big goals on paper, your self-confidence starts to grow. The process of setting goals requires confidence, and at the same time, it helps to build even more confidence. Having the courage to write down what you truly want can improve the way you see yourself and make you feel more valuable. Simply writing down your goals gives you a sense of personal power and makes you feel more capable. Second, writing down your goals taps into your mental and emotional strengths. Setting goals actually gives you a boost of energy, both physically and mentally. Your heart might beat faster and your breathing might quicken because the act of setting goals is naturally exciting. There's a saying, feeling down? Make a list. This works because setting goals is like hitting the gas pedal on your own potential, pushing you to move forward. If you make it a habit to write down your goals every day, you can achieve truly remarkable results over time. Finally, when you commit your goals to paper, it greatly increases your chances of achieving them. Your mind is wired in such a way that when you clearly write down a goal, you also start figuring out how to achieve it, even if you're not fully aware of it. The most important thing to consider is how much you really want to reach that goal. If you want it badly enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. Our dreams have a strong impact on us, especially how we see our future. The way we envision our future can shape our actions and decisions. It's important to remember that the future should be the strongest force pulling us forward. We shouldn't let the past hold us back. Some people get stuck in the past, letting it drag them down like gravity. Instead of just learning from past mistakes and using that knowledge to move forward, they get trapped in the darkness of what went wrong before. They keep reliving their past failures and disappointments, which can haunt them for the rest of their lives. We shouldn't let the past control us or keep us from moving forward. While the past will always have some influence, it should never be stronger than the pull of our future. That's why it's important to focus on our dreams and goals. Think of your dreams and goals as magnets. The stronger and clearer your goals are, the more powerful they become, pulling you toward them. Not only do your goals pull you forward, but they also help you get through tough times. When you're having a bad day, facing challenges, or going through a difficult period in your life, your goals can help you push through. They can guide you through the dark times, like the winter of your life. On the other hand, some people struggle because their goals aren't strong or clear enough to help them through tough times. When your goals are bright and powerful, they light the way and keep you moving forward, no matter what obstacles you face. An ancient writer once said that we can walk through the valley even when it's filled with shadows and the threat of death, because we have our eyes on what's on the other side of that valley. This means that even when things are tough and we face difficulties, we can keep moving forward because we believe in what lies ahead. Imagine a farmer in the spring. Why would he start plowing the fields if he didn't believe that a harvest was waiting for him at the end of the summer? The answer is simple. He can see the harvest in his mind even before it happens. Is it possible to see a finished harvest before the crops have even started growing? Yes, of course. This ability to see things that aren't there yet is called faith. Faith is the power to imagine what doesn't exist yet, and that's how things come into existence. For example, think about a hotel. Before it was built, someone saw it in their mind when the land was just an empty lot. If that person couldn't imagine the hotel before it existed, it would never have been built. In life, what we achieve is only a small part of what's possible for us. So I want you to start thinking about some big goals you want to accomplish in 3 different areas. First, think of a personal goal, something you really want to achieve for yourself. Next, think about your financial freedom. What's the amount of money that would make you debt-free? Imagine how good it would feel to reach that goal. It would take away a lot of stress, allow you to do more for your loved ones. Now, whatever that number is, I want you to multiply it by 100. Don't worry about how you're going to reach that number. That's not something you need to figure out right now. Just focus on setting the goal and let the how take care of itself later. One of my favorite books says, don't rely only on your own understanding. Trust in a higher power, and that power will guide you on the right path. This means that there's a force greater than you, one that can help you achieve more than you ever thought possible. I'm telling you this from my own life experience. No one could have convinced me of this when I was growing up. As you consider your own goals and dreams, think about the impact you want to have on the world. What difference will you make because you were here? For me, I help train speakers. I teach people how to share their stories, how to make a difference in the lives of others, and how to make a living doing it. I help them become voices of influence. What will your contribution be? Take some time to think about it. Horace Mann once said, we should be ashamed to die until we have made some major contribution to humankind. This reminds us that our lives should be about more than just personal success. They should also be about making a lasting impact on the world. When you think about your goals and dreams, remember this: one of the easiest things I ever did was earn $1 million. That was the easy part. But the hardest thing I've ever done, and what took me years to accomplish, was believing that I could actually do it. That belief in myself was the real challenge. Dr. Howard Thurman, a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Schweitzer, and Mahatma Gandhi, once said, there's something in each and every one of you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself, and it will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. This means that deep inside, you have an inner voice, your true self, guiding you. If you don't listen to that voice, you'll end up living a life controlled by others. It's essential to regularly work on your mindset. We're taught, don't conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This requires focus and discipline. As you pursue your goals and dreams, your mindset is incredibly important. You need to believe in your dream, even when there's no evidence to support it, and even when others doubt you. You have to keep telling yourself, I can do this, no matter how many times you face defeat or disappointment. Willie Jolly said it best, a setback is a setup for a comeback. You have the power to bounce back. You're here because you're different. Because you're not just looking for entertainment, you're looking for growth and achievement. That's why statistically, immigrants who come to this country are 3 times more likely to start their own business or buy their own home than the average American. They come with a mindset focused on achievement, not just on being entertained. This is the kind of mindset you need to have to reach your goals. When you're thinking about your goals and dreams, you've got to put everything you've got into it. This means working on yourself and especially on your mindset, because you're going to face challenges. Now, there's something important you need to practice, OQP, which stands for only quality people. Write that down. You need to take a good look at the people in your life and ask yourself, what are they bringing into my life and what am I bringing into theirs? If you're always the smartest one in your group, like Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, it's time to find a new group. A lot of people will never reach their goals and dreams because they're surrounded by toxic, negative people who drain their energy. Another thing to remember is this: you're going to fail your way to success. Write that down too. Believe it or not, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been broke at some point. Walt Disney had to file for bankruptcy 7 times and went through 2 nervous breakdowns. The path to success is paved with failures, But those failures aren't really failures, they're lessons. When I win, it's because of what I've learned. When I lose, it's because there's something I didn't know. And that's when I need to educate myself and raise my level of thinking. Sometimes I need advice from the people in my circle. Einstein once said, "The thinking that got me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve." The truth is, there's never a shortage of money, just a shortage of ideas and fresh thinking, as Robert Schuller pointed out. And that's the reality. Jot this down. I'm going to live my dream no matter what. You've got to make a firm decision you're going to live your dream. Things will happen that you can't even imagine right now. So as you look at your goals and dreams, decide that you're going to make them happen no matter what. You have the power to create wealth. You have the power to make an impact. You have the power to make a difference. You have the power to do more than you can even begin to imagine. Sometimes you have to lean on someone else's belief in you until your own belief becomes strong enough. I might not know you personally, but I want to challenge you. Push yourself. Make a conscious and deliberate effort to step outside of your comfort zone. Because if you want to achieve something you've never achieved before, you have to grow into someone you've never been before. This means taking risk, embracing new challenges, and believing that you have the potential to become more than you are today. Human beings have the power to change the direction of their lives. You could live one way for 5 years, then decide to tear up that script and live a completely different way for the next 5 years. For example, during the first 6 years of my financial life, I ended up broke. But in the next 6 years, I became rich. Now, some might think, don't you have to live the second 6 years just like you did the first? Write this down. No, you don't have to repeat the same mistakes or live the same way. You can take all the knowledge, advice, and lessons you've learned, fix your past mistakes, and adopt a new, improved philosophy. By doing this, the next 6 years can be completely different from the last. No other living being has this ability. Think about it. If you were a tree, you'd be stuck where you are. If a tree uses up all the nutrients in the soil around it and can't move, it would eventually die. But that's not the case for humans. We can change our surroundings. We can move north, south, east, or west, live in one place for a while, then somewhere else if we choose. So remember this. You have the power to significantly change the course of your life. Here's another important point. 5 years from now, you will arrive somewhere. The big question is, where will that be? If you keep doing what you're doing now, where will you end up in 5 years? It's easy to overlook this, but it's crucial to think about it. So make a note of this. In 5 years, you will either arrive at a destination that you have carefully planned out or one that you haven't planned at all. It will either be well-designed or completely undesigned. And trust me, 5 years from now, you don't want to end up at a destination you didn't plan for. If you don't take the time to design a better future, you might find yourself wearing clothes you don't like, driving a car you don't want, living in a place you don't enjoy, or doing a job you don't love simply because you didn't plan for something better. Key phrase up front, the decisions are easy. Decisions become easier once you know where you're headed. Sometimes after living for a while, trying to fix our past mistakes and get back on track feels like a huge challenge. For example, if you've neglected your health for 10 years, it's going to take more than 10 days to get it back to where you want it. But here's the exciting part, especially when talking to young people, write this down. If you start early, the future belongs to you. If you start early, all the wealth and success that's possible for humans is within your reach. If you start early, the possibilities are endless, and the odds are heavily in your favor. Now, it's true that you can still do some amazing things even if you start late and end up with some great rewards. But when you don't have much time left, the decisions you need to make might have to be so extreme that many people aren't willing to make them. They might be too tired, too worn out, or too sick, thinking, I don't have much time left. It's too late for me anyway. It's easy to fall into that mindset. But for everyone here, we've got time. We've got the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30 years to correct our past mistakes and establish new habits. And I'm telling you, that's going to change everything. So in 5 years, I hope you find yourself in a place that you've carefully designed, a place of productivity, a place that makes you proud of yourself, a place that brings you honor and respect, a place that gives you the power to influence others in ways you can't today. Where will you be in 5 years? Here's a key phrase. We go the direction we face. We naturally move in the direction we're facing. When you set your sights on a specific goal or destination, you'll find yourself gradually moving toward it. The key is to remember that the direction you face is something you consciously design. By choosing a clear destination and focusing your efforts on it, You start to align your actions, decisions, and mindset with that goal. It's like setting a course on a map once you know where you want to go. Every step you take brings you closer to that destination. So be mindful of the direction you're facing, because it will shape the path you travel and ultimately determine where you end up. Another important phrase to remember: direction determines destination. Your destination in life isn't determined by hope or wishful thinking. It's decided by the direction you're currently heading. You can't change where you'll end up overnight. You can't suddenly reach your 5-year goal by tomorrow. But here's what you can change your direction starting today. If you're not satisfied with where you're headed, don't worry. You have the power to adjust your course right now. By making small changes in your daily habits, choices, and mindset, you can steer yourself toward the future you want. Remember, it's the direction you're moving in that will ultimately lead you to your destination. So take a moment to think about where you're going. If it's not where you want to be, start making changes today. A shift in direction, no matter how small, can set you on the path to a better and more fulfilling future.